Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Silent Podcast, where we're anything but silent. Today, we're going to be covering Never Have I Ever, Season 2. Yes, that's right. We made it. We're at Season 2, Episode 1, aka the premiere. And I am your host, Sasha Joseph, and I'm here with my co host, Chappell, to talk you through all of this. How are you? We're here. We made it to Season 2, Chappell.
Yes, we made it. And this is the exact reason why we started this podcast. We started season 2 and was like, okay, this is too good to not talk about. So we finally
Mhm.
made it to the juicy stuff, right? To the
Yes.
mess. And so I'm very excited. I'm so ready to dive into all of this.
Yeah, a lot of folks, I will say, were like, "Oh, season 2 is season 1 is better." And I almost was feeling that when I was rewatching season 1. I was like, "Oh, yeah, like I forgot about all of these fun things." But now that I rewatch season 2, I'm back. I was like, "No,
Yeah.
season 2 is just as good. What are you guys talking about? Shut up."
Yeah. Season 1 was like the happy story. It's kind of like it
Yes.
told the story of grief, but then it all ended up in a very happy place at the end. Season 2 is messy. Messy, 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 messy. It starts off and you're thinking, oh, okay, we're back at our normal field. But by the middle of this season, and not to spoil anything, but we are going to be in a blender. Davey is going to have us
Yes.
trying to figure out which way is up. And so that is the fun of season 2, and I'm dying to talk about it.
Yeah, it's like finally like a cute teenage show that I'm so
Mhm.
into.
Yeah, it
Oh
was like a cute
god.
teenage show, and then for some reason in season 2, it just kind of gets dark, and it's like, oh,
Yes.
yeah, and you forget
Oh,
that those aspects of being a teenager exist too, and yeah, that's what makes it kind of hard to watch again. But again, the journey is so good that I don't think we can pass this up, and I'm happy that we decided to do this.
exactly. And as we say every time, make sure you're leaving us a review. If you're enjoying this, obviously you are. Just kidding. But if you're enjoying it, leave us a 5-star review. We appreciate it. We're trying to get to our next milestone. Still trying to figure out what that is. But the listeners, please tell us what is like a good incentive. And if you want to give us feedback or have questions, whatever, you can always tweet us or at silentpodcastsfeedback@gmail.com. It's in the description, so you don't need to write it down. But, if you're up in the middle of the night thinking, am I Team Ben or Team Paxton? Send it over. I don't know. Tweet us. We want to know. With that, actually, before we start, do we like say, are we Team Ben or Team Paxton, or do we say that at the end of this
Well,
episode?
well, I think we established last season that we were Team Davy, right? We want
That's
Davy.
true. That's
But, like
true.
but it does feel like a little bit of a cop out. So I have to ask
Yes.
Sasha, going into this season, knowing what you knew about last season, and you know that we left off with Ben kissing Davy in the car, but Paxton sending the text messages. What did
Hmm.
you expect? Or what did you want from this next season as far as like Davy's love interest go?
Yeah, I don't want it easy. I'll say that. Like easy is boring.
Mhm.
Uh so I like what they're doing with it. I like that our girl has both. Yes, abundance. We always want to come from a place of abundance in this world. But I'm team Ben. I want to make that clear. Not only because he's Jewish, but I think it's just like the boy waited for her. Like he's actually been there for her a lot, even with Model UN stuff. So I think granted he doesn't have any friends. Maybe that's why he's like leaning on Davy. But still, I'm into Team Ben. So I need to like stake my claim on that. Even though Paxton's like fine, he's too much of a fuck boy, and I'm not into it.
Yeah, I think at the end of last season, yeah, I was probably in my first watch Team Ben. But when this season starts, I remember that Paxton really didn't do anything to Davy that was wrong. Like they
Right.
had their kiss, and then Melanie like charged him up and hurt his feelings, and so he started to avoid
Yeah.
her. And so that's kind of what happened. And so I like if you are Team Paxton at this point, I understand why, because it's like he
Hmm.
really hadn't done nothing wrong except be the hot guy that she was obsessed with. But during this season, I guess it's not the easy way out, but I will say I am Team Davy. But just because I can appreciate her having her player moments, like listen,
Period.
Davy. Davy can have it all in this episode. She's making things happen. Like both of her love interests are about to start to merge onto her as like pick me. And I like seeing Davy the player. I can't lie.
And I'm into it. I will say I don't know about you, but for me, even seeing her, she looks really grown up in season
Mhm.
2. And I think for us, especially going from watching season 1 to season 2, I was like, oh my God, she's like really grown. Like just facial wise and all of that. So I feel like just her vibe is different this season. So I'm into it. I'm all for playing the field.
Mhm.
And especially she's right. You should always, if you're gonna play the field, actually don't, because that's like bad karma. You don't want that. But if you are in this situation, I'll say, yeah, make sure they're not in the same social groups at all. And that's how you make it happen. But I don't know how people do it with social media. Because when
Yeah.
we were doing this, like their Snapchat was like max where we could get in trouble. But that's it.
Yeah. Well, Instagram used to snitch on you too back in the day. Remember, Instagram would
Right.
like
But
if
I
you click
wasn't,
like on something, it
yeah,
would tell like, "Hey, such and such like this." It's like, why do I
that's
need to know that?
true.
But when I found out about that feature, oh, I stayed on there. I was looking at everybody likes. Who you liking? Why was you liking that? But yeah, this
Yeah.
was Davy definitely in a good spot with two of her love interests not having anything to do with each other at all. Like Paxton, I'm pretty sure barely knows Ben exists, which is good for her. Um,
Hmm.
but yeah, she's playing the field, and I think it's cool to see like a female protagonist in this moment, right? Like a woman in this spot or a girl in this
Hmm.
spot. Because most shows you'll have like a guy who's dating two women at the same time and trying to juggle those two women, and maybe they come to the same. He has two prom dates or something. He's juggling them back and forth secretly, or we see that all the time. And so this
Yeah.
time to have Davy as the central character, yeah, it was nice. She didn't have to be falling head over heels in love with these guys just because they like her.
And she's going to India. So listen, make the most of it. Okay. Live your best life. Because guess what? When you're gonna be stuck in India, you're gonna be what are you gonna be dreaming about? This that you had this amazing play moment. So I
Yeah,
agree that Devi should live her best life. And we're toxic people. I
yeah,
know. It's
yeah.
fine. You don't need
Cool.
to add us. We are. I can just
Exactly.
imagine people listening to this and be like, you are
Like,
awful.
what is wrong with y'all? Okay, we will talk about the problems with what Davy is doing as well. But I'm just
Yes.
saying, right now, at the end of season 2, at the very beginning of season 1, she has no commitment to either of these boys. She owes them nothing. These are just two boys
Yep.
who like her a lot. And so I guess as the season goes on, we'll explore what that looks like and if me and Sasha's feelings change about Davy playing
Mhm.
the field.
Exactly. All right. So I think let's start, Chappelle. We're doing, season 2, episode 1, correctly named. Never have I ever been a player. Correct. They, I don't think, like, as John McEnroe says, this like nerd has never been in this situation. And like, we're living for it. So now we're getting the kiss. And it's not just a kiss, like, it's straight make out. I want to make that clear.
Yeah. They're eating each other's faces in the car. And
Literally.
And that's the coolest thing about this season to me. One of the coolest things, I guess, is that when you leave off, we had a year gap between these two
Hmm.
seasons. So we didn't know if the new season was going to start with a time jump, if it was going to start halfway through the school year, or what was going to happen next. And it picks up directly where it left off. They are still kissing. It's wild.
They've been kissing for a year. Wow. No. Oh, those teenage hormones.
Yeah.
And yeah. So anyway, they're kissing, and then I actually, oh my god, put Def's team Ben in my notes. Okay, cute. And they're kissing, and then it pans to Chappelle, Nalini, just like in shock, staring at them.
She's not having it. This reminds me of that story you tell me about your mom coming in the movie theater to get you.
Yes.
Like, like
Yes.
she is like knocking on the window, like, what is going on? Get out of the
Yeah.
car. It's
My mom.
always the short ones who does
Yeah,
this.
that me, I'm the short one. My mom has definitely, thankfully, gotten better where she's definitely seen me make out with someone, but like I was honest. I was like, "Yo, like I'm going to a party for this boy. Like I don't care about anything else. It's for this boy who
Mhm.
is a stripper now." But anyway, so he was obviously good looking. It's my point. Okay. So, and I was like, this is why I'm going. Like, I was honest, and my mom was like, you know what? Okay, it's fine. And she ended up staying outside the
Mhm.
club. So that was embarrassing. It's whatever. Um, and it wasn't because of me, it was because of my cousin. My cousin's an idiot and like left the building to
Mhm.
go with the boy. So my mom was like, "Oh, we can't trust. That means we have to stay." And she walked in to use the bathroom, and guess what Sasha was doing? Making out with this boy. So Yeah, things happen. So my mom has seen it. She was very embarrassed. To this day, talks about it, but she was cool about it. Thank you, Shamira.
Yeah, and I mean, Melanie has similar concerns. She thinks Davy might end up one day having sex on top of her grave. So, I mean, it's I guess it's no different than seeing you seeing your daughter kissing a stripper, but
Yeah, well, he was not a
or a
stripper
future
at the
stripper,
moment.
future
Everyone,
stripper.
my mom did
Yeah.
try to hire him for my wedding. So what?
Oh,
Here we are. Yes,
we come full circle.
very much that. I just couldn't stop laughing at it because I can imagine if I'm not supposed to be doing it and getting caught. Have you ever like gotten caught by your mom?
Not really. I told you that one story about how we were
Yeah,
in
at
the
the
club and
club.
they just walked in and I was like, "Well, she's in my lap now, so we're just gonna have this. We're just gonna have to do it." Like I guess you just have to see what's happening. But like, no, 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 no. I know better. My family is super big, and so the moment like anybody gets like romantically involved with somebody else, it becomes like a family newsletter,
Got
and then
it.
they're invited to whatever holiday. So it's very important that, and all my cousins know this, and if anyone of them is listening, they will tell you if you say you're gonna bring somebody to a family function, like that's it. They're in the family. Friend, relationship. And so it's like if you bring them and then they don't come to the next thing, the entire family's like, so where's such and such? Who
Oh
is
my
this
god.
new person? Like they will put you on blast. So it's always like if you're dating somebody, they can see the person exist, but you can never come in contact with them unless it's serious. We marry people into this family very quickly.
Wow, I love that. But yeah, that's stressful. I mean,
Mm,
I can't imagine because boys have come and gone. My
yeah.
my mom was very much like, "Don't make it official, just have fun." Like she was that
Mm,
mom. She's like, once I was 16 and I like fought back enough, I was like, "No, this is happening. Like, please, I need to date. It's okay. I'll be fine." Then finally, it was like, "But why do you need to make it official? Just have
yes,
fun."
mom.
And
Hey, I love that.
dumb. I was dumb, and I was like, "No, I'm in
No.
love." What a dummy.
You're like,
Big
I'm
dummy.
committed at 60 years old. And now here you are like, play the field,
Yeah,
live your
I'm like,
life, and you're
"What a
married.
dummy." Yeah. Oh my god. But yes, and then of course Davy's mom reacts exactly how she should. Kamala is just like stressed in the car because she's like, how is Davy still out here? We just patched things up and then here we are. I just appreciated that Nalini actually said the word sex. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah,
Because
well,
she
she said
said,
it out of
yeah.
disdain. Like she was disgusted. So, but she did say the word. She was just like, you're doing all this making out with this boy at the spreading of your dad's ashes. Are you gonna just have sex on top of my grave at my funeral? It's like, okay, calm down just a bit. It's fine. But that's not Melanie's speed. So I wasn't shocked
No.
to see her react like this.
Yeah, never that. And then I appreciate Davy just being like, I was just overcome with emotion. I could have kissed anyone.
Did, did that make you feel better, Sasha? If someone told you like it could have been anybody, like, whoa, anybody?
Great. I would have been like, this is not behavior that I will allow. Like
Right.
we are not for the streets.
I've had some I could kiss anybody moments before in the streets as well. And sometimes you just be partying on Bourbon Street and things happen, and then the next day you're like, did that happen? And people are, yes, it happened, and we have footage. So maybe have a moment of I guess emotion, but with somebody that you care about. Don't just kiss random
Yeah,
people.
be strategic. Like when you're like, I might be in this moment, have a few options around that you're not gonna
Yeah,
regret. That's what you have to do.
exactly.
You have to like play chess and have your pawns ready to go. Have I
Yes,
done these things? Yes.
we teaching the game. Never have we
Yeah.
ever been players.
Listen, it's true because whenever I'm at OU football games, right, and it's like always a heart attack. So then you're like so overcome with emotions that you need to make sure people around you. You have to,
Mhm.
have I crawled into a stadium before because of influence things? Sure. So
Of
even
course.
more, I need to make sure it's not someone around me that I'm gonna, not that I'm gonna regret, obviously.
Good
And make
advice.
sure one person is at home sober if you're ready for that. You don't know. And so then I just appreciate that Nalini is just that I've also done emotional things, so it's okay. Crazy things when I was emotional. Because she said she hugged a man once when she found a printer on sale.
Yep.
So same.
Same,
Kissing
same.
a guy or hugging a stranger. Obviously, same.
Hugging the salesman at Circuit City. When she said Circuit City, I was like, I don't even. Those are long gone. I don't even think those
Right.
exist anymore. But that tells you how long it's been since Melanie has had an emotional reaction like this.
Ugh, bless her heart, especially in LA. I was like, who goes to Circuit City?
Melanie.
Yeah, I like immigrants. Yeah, Indians. It's true. And then we get the voicemail, everyone, where, it's a voice. First of all, Paxton left a voicemail. I don't remember the last time I left a voicemail. So
No.
that's
Mm-mm.
stressful.
Leaving voicemails. If you leave me a voicemail, it must be very important
He
because I
down
mean,
bad.
shoot me a text. Shoot me a text. But like, if you leaving voicemails, that means you need me to hear your voice right now. And so, yeah, by this time, Davey's starting to think like, okay, he must really like her or something. Something must be up because he left her a voicemail.
Yep. And then, she's like, okay, cool. I guess he wants to hang out. Exciting. But then I love that McEnroe is telling us and Davey, like, don't get your hopes up. Don't do that. Like, set your sights lower on someone like Ben. Understand who you are. And
Uh,
then bam, we get home, Chevelle, and Paxton is waiting.
Yeah, I mean, this is weird because Paxton's last time he was waiting outside our house, Melanie like tore into him, but he's sitting in his Jeep and it seems like he's just been sitting there for hours waiting for her to return, which is interesting because we didn't have any reason to believe Paxton felt this strongly about Davy, but to just sit there outside our house until she got back from God knows where, that's commitment.
Yeah, and he ordered Chinese food. That's how long he's been there, where he like
He was
Uber
comfortable.
eats like food
Yeah,
to
you
her
can.
house.
Yeah, he's
Bless her
comfortable. He
heart.
had he had it delivered. He didn't want to go anywhere. He's like, no, they brought me some food. I just sat here, got watched a few shows on Netflix. Like Paxton is down bad.
And then he even says, when she asks, "Were you waiting?" He says, "Yeah, I had nothing better to do. That's why." Paxton, what
Right.
happened?
Right. Is the pool closed? You couldn't go practice swimming. You don't have where's your friends? Where the hot pockets? I mean, Paxton
Davey's
is
the
they
hot pocket, Chabelle.
right, exactly. This is a new side of Paxton. He's whipped.
Yep. And then he like kind of apologizes for being a dick, but not really. Because he's looking at his shoes the whole time, John McEnroe says, and vocab was limited. But for Paxton, that's enough. The bar is very low for attractive people.
He tried. Like I talk about you have to say the words, and he did. He was like, "I'm
Hmm.
sorry, I was a dick, I was being dumb." Like he did apologize several times because Davey thought like, "Oh, you blew me off because this was a bad kiss, or like I flooded your mouth with saliva. Like what's been going on ever since I kissed you? You just disappeared on me." He's like, "Look,
Yes.
I'm sorry. Let's just go to dinner tomorrow." And I was like, "Oh, we got a date coming."
Yeah, and the fact that he straight up said dinner, I was surprised by because as a teenager, I actually even in college, I never really got asked out on dates. So I don't know, like until I moved to San Francisco, actually. So until I was 25. Oh wow. That I never
Well,
got asked
well,
on like a date, if
Well,
that
yeah,
makes
that's
sense.
because yeah, when you're first off when you're a teenager, it's like you dating, but you like just go wherever your parents will take you. It's not
Yeah.
like you like are like paying for like vacations or like expensive restaurant. Like
Not
just meet me
vacation.
wherever. Right, just meet me wherever we can go. But then when you get to college, it's like if you're dating, but you don't really go on dates because you live together almost. Like you're on the same campus, you're
Yeah,
in a
you're
dorm.
right.
Right. So it's like, yeah, we went to XYZ, but like, did I ask you on a date? No, I just kind of met you in the classroom or, at the lunch table or,
I had my
at the football
points.
game. Yeah. Like, so it's like, it's like you didn't get a real, like, cordial, like, let me ask you out, strange person that I don't know. It was more like, hey, I ran into you at a party and we started talking.
Let's be honest. That's that's
Yeah.
exactly how it
Yeah.
Oh god. Or for us and Norman, it was Campus Corner where
Okay.
all this stuff happened.
Where it went
Uh
down.
Yeah, so I was like, "A dinner?" Because 'Cause I'm surprised because 'cause I'm like, maybe he would say, like, "Let's, like, go to the arcade." Because I'm trying to
Mhm.
think what dumb teenage boys are into.
We went to
Uh,
the movies a lot. when I
Yes,
was a
that's
dumb
exactly
teenage
what we
boy.
did.
Yeah, it's like let's go to the movies and then afterwards maybe like if a restaurant until someone comes and picks us up or something
Yes.
like let's go. I think where was it at? It wasn't Cheddar's. It was some raggedy
Oh
restaurant
my
we used to all
god,
go
I
to.
love Cheddar's. I still go back to Cheddar's.
Listen, those croissants are something special. That
The
broccoli
bread
rice
they give you.
casserole.
Oh
So
yes.
I mean, Cheddar's does what needs to be done sometimes, and I'm bougie about my food. But when I tell you, sometimes you just need that broccoli rice casserole. It's necessary.
Sponsor us, Cheddar's, please.
Yes, please.
Everyone else is like, "What's at Cheddar's?"
Right, and
Go
we're
to
like,
it.
no, please bring us more croissants. Thank you.
Mhm. Oh my god. Yeah, that's exactly it. I remember going to the movies and it's like maybe he'll pay for you or maybe it's like a we'll meet inside.
Hmm. Yeah. It wasn't
Oh
like
my
no, like I
god.
was gonna come pick you up, unless it was like prom. Like I remember picking her up at prom, but like it wasn't just
Or
like
you had two
oh,
prom dates. Who the hell did you pick up?
uh, both. Oh, but
Oh,
yeah, it was a different time, but I think yeah, like I was saying, but yeah, no, I think it was like maybe in high school, like meet me at the mall type of situation.
oh
Then we were
yes.
gonna walk around the
Did
mall.
you work
Teenagers
at the
love
mall?
walking the mall.
We all worked at
No,
the mall,
I
so
didn't work at the mall, unfortunately, but I should have as much as I was there, just wandering around, like literally walking laps around like the mall in Houston. That's all we
correct.
did.
Correct. I'm glad we all had the same childhood. Wow.
Hmm. We were all there together.
Well, I worked at Abercrombie. Oh, yuck. And anyway, so yeah, back to this. Paxton has now said, I'll see you tomorrow, Vishwa Kumar. We've graduated from Lil D to Vishwa Kumar. So hello. We've made it. And then McEnroe is stressed. How is this happening? How does she have two boys? I'm stressed because Ben did all this, Chappelle, and all Paxton had to do was leave a voicemail.
Ben
But it's
broke the
okay.
law, drove without a license, risked his life, drove clear across the city for her, helped her spare her dad's ashes. But Paxton did leave her a voicemail. That's something we have to take into
Yeah.
consideration with making these decisions, Sasha. He left a voicemail. That's a big deal.
Do you think you have double standards for like women?
Oh
Depending
yeah,
on
like
just
like
many reasons. We won't get into
100%,
why, but yeah,
100%,
same. It's sick because I
100%.
was like, well, damn, I would do this too.
Yeah, like you're like you did all of this stuff and you seem really nice, but like I mean, look at her,
Yeah.
like she looked at me, she smiled at me. And now I can't like think about anything else. So I mean, like obviously I gotta go with her. So yeah, this happens and it's unfortunate, but it's the truth.
Yeah, very much. And then, our girl, she's like, let me rehear this voicemail because I made it, people. And in checking her voicemails, because as John McEnroe says, Zoomers barely do that or use that
Mhm.
feature. She finds her dad's voicemail, which is so beautiful. And it's like this really kind voicemail that Mohan left her about looking for her at the mall, just like teenagers do. And then he like looks at her and he's like narrating her walking to him, saying, here's the most prettiest girl in the world, while she is walking to him, I guess. And we hear that and we hear him talk about her one last time, more than likely. So it's so sweet and sad.
Yeah. It's very sad. I
Yeah.
like, but it's kind of like, well, we're happy that she has like her comfort thing. And
Yes.
I relate to this. I have a hard time deleting memories from people when they pass. Like, I
Same.
still have some of my friends that have passed away. I still have their contacts in my phone, and I see them, and I just kind of just scroll past it. Or I like have like friends that I follow on Twitter, like and that have
Hmm.
passed away. And every now and then I'll see like an old tweet from them or something, and I just leave it there. I just can't bring myself to delete it because it kind of like it's sad, and I don't want to think about that. But at the same time, like I just don't know if I could take that step to erase them from that part of me. So
Yeah.
I get it 100%.
Exactly. And then it's the next morning, Chappelle. It's time to go to India. Again, very, very relatable. My mom has a whole closet full of things that she just hoards until the next time she goes to India because it's gifts for people. So apparently, Indian people love Trader Joe's. I mean, no lies detected. It's true. But my mom never takes food unless it's like chocolates. Like it's always like clothes from America. Or some people are like, I want iPhones. And it's like, do you think we are made of money?
They think they just sell them everywhere here. Just pick
Yeah.
me up an iPhone, bring it to India. It's cool. But yeah, Melanie is packing. It seems like the entire of Trader Joe's is like stuffed into that suitcase.
Yeah.
And yeah, and of course, like I knew about the chocolate thing. You told me about the candies, but like for her to just be like, okay, I gotta pack all the rest of this stuff in here. So okay, Indian people must really, really love Trader Joe's.
I mean, that's a small bag. My mom takes a full checked bag of just gifts. And it's like gifts for people I know I'm going to see. And then it's gifts of like, what if I run into someone and they come over to see me? Then I need to
Ooh,
have gifts for them ready to
yeah.
go. So that, yeah, my mom even gives our dentist in India a gift, like for his daughter. That's the kind of
Mm,
vibes we're on. So it's like embarrassing, but it's true. We all of us do it. Like when I go to India, it's like 5 bags? Like 3 people, let's say me and my, stepdad and mom. Between us, we have at least no, 2 bags each plus a carry-on, plus extra bags that, my stepdad just has status so we don't have to pay for. So, like,
okay.
probably 8 bags.
Wow. Like I am traveling with like a backpack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
So that's wild.
lucky. No, never that. And you have to obviously go shopping in India for outfits too.
Mhm.
So,
You
that
gotta bring
too.
empty bags when you travel. That's what I learned.
Yeah, that's
You
what we
bring a
do.
bag inside your bag because when you come back, you're gonna wanna have something to put all your stuff in.
Exactly.
Mhm.
You don't wanna pay shipping fees. Don't be
Ex
dummy.
exactly. Pro tips. We're teaching y'all here. Never have
Listen, you're welcome.
a
Anyway, and then they're just like talking about this, and Nalini is just, talking about moving to India, and Davy's stressed. She's like, I can't believe you're moving me to India when things are finally looking up for me. And then she's like, oh, so you want to keep kissing boys in SUVs? Just drag city, I feel.
Yeah, it's too soon to let it go. It just happened. And
Hmm.
and Melanie, she's just begging Davy, like, be okay with this for me, because as we discussed last time, she's just missing her family. She's missing that support system, and she just doesn't feel like she has it. And so Davy's okay with that because she'll be back in 2 years with an underboob tattoo, like Rihanna has, of her future boyfriend's names. So she's got a
Don't do
plan. I
that,
think.
Davy, dummy.
Do you think she's just saying this to piss off Melanie?
I really hope so, but we do know that Davy is like one that thinks that X, Y, and Z things are cool, so I should do it, and that's what's stressful for me. It's like, please don't do that just because you
Yeah.
think that's cool. It's really not.
Yeah, just be yourself, Davey. Like, don't let Rihanna make decisions for you. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's Rihanna. It's Rihanna. But, maybe you don't
But
need the
Rihanna
underboob
has
tattoo.
not, yeah, I was like, it's not a tattoo of a boy. It's a tattoo of like something like I think it's like wings and stuff.
Mhm.
So don't do it like any partner's name. Don't be stupid.
Yeah, don't be dumb. Ooh, that's a mistake.
Yeah. Ooh. Would you ever? I don't think I would
No.
ever get. Oh my
What?
god.
I wouldn't. I'm
Ooh.
sorry. No disrespect to my lovely mother, but she can't even get her name tattooed on me. I'm sorry.
Yeah, there's no way.
Mm-mm. Because one day I'll be so mad and I'll be like, I cannot believe my dumb ass got this on tatted on me. Are you crazy? So no. Mm-mm. No, 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 no.
Exactly. And then, we talk about a lot of other stuff, but there's some updates. Nalini is going to be selling her client list to this doctor. Get ready, everyone, because this doctor is really extra. He drives a Maybach, according to Kamala, but it's not tacky, okay? It's not flashy. It just looks just right on him. And she says, I'm gonna try to sell it to him for a lot of money, her client list. And then I love that Davy just drags her because Nalini says, we know that people just want a no frills immigrant values dermatologist, not this fancy man. And Davy's like, in your dreams. In your
Right. Like
dreams.
you know what you want. We want the flashy Maybach driving, quiet humility, dermatologist who's doing fat transfers from people's chins to their butts.
Yes.
We that's what we want. We want the fancy ones. We don't we that's what Davy has her finger on the pulse of what's going on here. But Melanie is already shading this doctor. And so I was very excited when we got to meet him later on.
Yeah. And if my doctor looked like what this doctor looked like, I would be going every day to the dermatologist. Okay. But we won't
Yeah.
spoil it just yet. And then the biggest deal, Kamala is in a new PhD rotation with Dr. Peter or Pete, I don't know, whatever.
Dr. Elgin Peters,
Elgin
I think.
Peters. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Why did I write Pete's Lab? Okay. Cute. And then he's a big deal. He's the LeBron of stem cell research. I really tried about to do an accent, and I was like, "That's disgusting. What's wrong with you?" So I
Wait,
caught myself.
Sasha, is it disgusting for you to do an Indian accent?
I don't think I can do it. Like,
I mean, as an Indian person, I think you can like do it where it's not disgusting, but I think it also like if you don't feel comfortable
yeah, I'm
sounding
like really
Indian
trying to think.
question mark.
Yeah, granted, I really don't. I never did when I first moved. Now I'm like, that's so dumb. How cool would it have been to have a little accent? But when I first moved here, I actually hated it and uh actively like practiced an
Oh,
American accent.
is there a difference between like South Indian accent
Yes,
and
definitely.
oh yeah?
Yeah,
Cool.
I
Learning
yeah.
so much.
I definitely can't do a South Indian accent, but granted, and like I'm from Mumbai, which is like a more cosmopolitan city where
Mhm.
I think people actively try to be extra and like try to speak only in English and la la la. So it's a little bit again more different, like that accent versus like regionally accents are very different.
Gotcha.
But yeah, she just says LeBron of stem cell research. I can't do it. Why did I try? And then and I just appreciate Davy because Davy's all of us. It's so annoying how nerdy you are because no one knows it because you're so hot and no one
Yeah,
knows.
Kamala gets to have it all, and Davy has to be nerdy, and what she calls herself a troll. But you know, that's Kamala. That's just what she is, and you know, we're all Davy in that moment. Like, okay, we get it. You're smart.
Yep.
Thank you.
And now it's time, Chappelle. Now we're gonna figure out how to do this. Like it's like that trope, right, of every TV show being in two places at one time.
Mhm.
Because not only is she emotionally in two places, like she's physically at school sitting in between these two boys, and they have no idea about the other.
Yeah, and she's sitting like right in the middle of them. And she doesn't even care. Like she tries to feel guilty for a split second about this love triangle that she seems to found herself in, but she's too excited about the drama of it, like the mess. She's like, "Oh, look at me, I'm a player now." Like, I mean, she's asking them both, like, "How was your day? How was your day?" They're both answering at the same time. Like, Davy is feeling it. Okay, I love this for her.
Oh my god, I just couldn't, like, and everyone's just, like, giggling like crazy, like, they just, like,
Yeah.
can't figure it out, and then, we get our Mr. Shapiro, who says he spent his entire weekend in Little Ethiopia getting new dashikis. What is wrong with this man?
That he is woke in his mind, okay, and so he thinks that's cool. Like I, a white man, went into Little Ethiopia, so this area of ethnicity, I guess, and he's like, okay, well, I too am amongst the people, you know. Mr. Shapiro is going to be a very comedic person throughout this entire season, but I love stuff like this. Even the chalkboard, the words on
Yes.
the chalkboard says, "Who can say what words? A dangerous journey into appropriation." Now, sir, who can say what words? Okay. Isn't this a history class? Like
That's what it's probably like he wants to do a whole thing about like World War II and the word or civil rights movement. I'm sure that's what he's trying to talk about, but he is like the embodiment of cultural appropriation. Like I don't think I've ever met someone as bad as this man.
yeah. There's a difference between appreciation and appropriation, right? Like, so you can like something and you can talk about it in a way that is showing that I appreciate this a lot. I'm a big fan of this. But when you start to put yourself on the same level as involvement in that culture and you know you haven't done the necessary the time and the effort to actually engulf yourself in that culture, then
Yeah.
that's when it becomes appropriation. Like, you know, if you weren't a part of that and you're just using it because you think it looks cool or you think it's like, oh, I could sell something with this if I dress a certain way, or maybe I'll shoot my music video like this. I mean, I always think back to Gwen Stefani,
Mhm.
and her Harajuku days, where it was just like, I'm a white lady, but now I'm Asian, but also in this video, like, I'm gonna be like this, and maybe I'm gonna have like black eyeliner on, like a chola, like she
Oh.
just, yeah, like she just like doing random stuff like that to kind
Yeah.
of, but like as a bit, it's like you get to go home and be a
Mhm.
white lady again, and so that's not great, and so just make sure you are giving the necessary like kindness and the due to each, or like each culture that you are
Mhm.
emulating and talking about.
Yeah, exactly, and bless his heart. And then Davy obviously can't be cool because of both boys are talking about how great their weekend was, and she freaks out. And then she says, "Of course, well, guess what I did? Spread my dad's ashes." And of course, Mr. Shapiro just starts going on and on in Sanskrit about the last will and right, blah blah blah, all this stuff, and I'm like, "Stop it. Just stop it." It's just quite frustrating for me to just see Mr. Shapiro, and I know that I love him because I love to hate him, I should say,
Mhm.
because he's still a hilarious character, but oof, it drives me crazy. It's like those white people that love yoga so much that will be like, "Kiss mat," and, what is it?
Namaste. Yeah, just
Yeah,
like,
and it's like,
like
"Shut
just
up."
just don't walk up to people saying namaste because it's Tuesday. Um, but again, appropriation versus appreciation. It's something to think about, something to read into.
Yes,
Because he
exactly.
he even says like, "Oh, Davy, I wish I could have been present at that event.
Yeah,
You're my teacher. You don't have any business at this moment. This isn't for you."
and not even a teacher that she's so into, you know?
Right.
Like,
Like,
what?
if she felt like you were close like that, she would have invited you to something like that, or we would have seen that in the show. But just to be like, I understand, and I too shall be in that space with you. She said, no, that's weird. And Davy rightfully calls him out as she does normally.
Yeah, I love that they drag him constantly and he just
Yeah.
like does not care. And then turns out they're gonna be doing community service where they're gonna be picking up trash on the side of a highway because apparently that's something you do in history class.
Well, that, and they will be cleansing their consciences in the
Oh,
meantime. You have to
right.
remember the real message from Mr.
Ugh.
Shapiro. So funny.
Oh my god, yes. And then after that, it's time to meet Dr. Jackson Chappelle.
Yes. So we get Melanie showing up to the office, or Dr. Jackson's office, and it's very like, it's an immaculate office. You can tell it's very, very
Yes.
nice. And Melanie is just like, she's got the stank face on. She's like, I don't like it in here. I don't like this man. I can't wait till he comes out here and gives me all his money for these clients. He's got this pumpkin spice everywhere. Like, it's so tacky. And he overhears her, and in walks Common, the
Woo!
rapper. Common
I
is Dr.
loved it.
Jackson.
I like Common is a very attractive man. And I know he's old, so maybe like, but I'm very into Common. And I don't know, he is not like, if I saw Common on the street, I don't know that I would be like wanting to date him, but like, he's just wow. Yeah, I'm very into Common.
Yeah, Common is 49 years old, but listen, Common is
Common
a
is
golden,
49?
yeah, 49, but he's a Golden Globe winner, a Grammy winner, an Oscar winner. Common is doing the things, and we know that Common recently started acting years ago. And so, this was good to see him in this spot, but I was definitely annoyed. Like, I was hating. I was like, oh, of course it's Common. Here he comes with his like deep voice and like his deep, long look into her
Yes.
eyes. Nice to see you, Dr. Vishwa Kumar. Like,
You know,
okay,
poor Common
Common.
cannot say these names. He's like, "Y'all got me out here."
Dr. Vishwa Kumar. I said, okay,
You know,
here we
someone
go.
probably had a place card in the side, like, phonetically written it out, and he had to read
Yes.
it, like, on SNL, how they read it on the side.
Yeah, exactly. And so Nellany's
Com
hating. She's just like,
Common dated Erica Badu. Oh my
he has
god.
dated everybody. But I remember when he dated Erica Badu, and he was doing that song, The Light, and she was in the
Oh,
video. Yeah, and
yeah.
then love of my life, like in the video.
Yes, Chappelle.
Oh, yeah, those were my days when I listened to Common. But yeah, he's got an interesting dating history, actually. I think he's with Tiffany Haddish right now.
Mhm.
Yeah, so that's
She
fun.
went bald.
Yeah.
And she said he made her feel so safe in being
Uh,
bald.
I bet she did. Um,
If Common told me to go bald, I will be going
you be
bald.
bald.
Are you kidding me?
I
Also,
get it. I understand.
Common's real name is one, two, six names.
Oh,
Yeah, it's Lonnie Grant Jaman Shuka Rashid Lynn.
yes. I would go by Common as well.
Uh,
Okay.
that is not a common name, I'll tell you that.
No, that's a dope name. It's a
Oh
lot.
my god. I
Yeah.
can't believe he's 49. Wow, Common, good for you, Common. Okay.
You go, Common.
Yes. Anyway, he like has his little drawl, and I'm into it. The RN, Dr. Vishra Kumar's RN is into it. But it's fine, whatever. And then he is, very surprised that she's moving to India, and that's why she's closing down the office, not because of negligence. Why he's dragging her like this?
Look, she had that stank face look on her face when she came in office. They know what this is. They have this like rivalry between them. Remember when she was like, "Oh, we don't want all these like flashy dermatologists. We just want a no frills, like traditional." So she's been throwing shade at him, and so he comes right out the gate saying like, "I thought you lost your medical license." And so I guess they just trash talk back and forth.
Yeah.
Um, but Melanie's here to try to get over on him. She wants to sell her clientele at like a higher price so she could get a little
For a
money to go to India.
$100,000.
Right.
Okay. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think there's that many maybe there are, it's LA, but,
In
like, in
LA,
the
yeah.
valley that are good, I think they're gonna come to him regardless, but,
Yeah.
it's fine.
Well, first off, it's common. Like you said, like women are gonna be like falling over themselves just to be in that. Oh, well, that's fine. I need a dermatologist today. It's cool. And so, I don't think he needs it. He also says he doesn't need her clients because Netflix wants to do a documentary on him called Field of Derms.
Again, things that I wanna do. Yes. I understand this, and I don't know, it's just, like, Common just dragging her back is beautiful because this is the first person I feel like that we've seen that goes toe to toe with Nalini.
Hmm.
So I'm into it as well because of that. And then anyway, yeah. So they're talking. Basically, they agree that they're gonna sell it. That he will take the list for 10,000. So they just dropped
Yeah.
1 0.
Yeah. Well, I
Um.
mean, she tried to highball him, so he's like, "Let's make it reasonable." And they end up leaving. But he has to offer the RN a job because she's looking at him so thirsty. So
Yes. I mean, who isn't looking at him thirsty? Maybe you. You're the only person.
yeah, I was hating. But yeah,
Mhm.
and me and Melanie were both hating because Melanie's like, "No, she doesn't need a job with you. Also, we're leaving and take these free samples with us." So we just
Listen,
start bagging stuff up.
she did her daughter right because that's where they went. They went to
Yeah.
Devi, so I appreciated that. Good mom win right there.
Yeah, she did all that hate and talk about pumpkin spice, but she made sure to fill that bag up before she left the door. So
Yes, 100.
I appreciate that.
As most, I don't know about anyone else, but most Indians, that is a very correct thing that we would do. So
You
I
said free, right?
understand.
You
Yes.
said okay. If it's free, that how many free? I can take as many as I want. Okay, well I'm gonna take some.
Listen, Costco free samples when they come back. It's a
I'll be
wrap for
ready.
y'all.
It's over.
Why do I need so much food in bulk? No one knows.
No one
Uh,
knows.
here we are. And then we come back home. They're the girls. It's finally time for the UN, even though they're not the UN anymore. I want to make that clear. Like they're all in situationships.
Mhm,
Actually, Fab and Eleanor are straight up relationships. And
mhm.
it's our girl, Davy, that's only in a situationship where the girls really can't believe it. They're like, I can't believe you're still moving, but it's okay, Chappelle, because Gears has friends in Mumbai. So Fab will come because Gears can't hang out with his little friend.
His robot friends. Remember, he doesn't know he's a robot, so we don't know what these friends are. They could be real. They could really exist. Who knows?
Like Submit, Catfish, and Gears. We don't
Oh my
know.
gosh, we don't need that. But yeah, but it's
Oh
good to see the
god.
girls back together. It kind of last
Yes.
season we ended on the makeup, and so this is them back to their old ways, and they're making a pros and cons list about which guy Davy should choose. Whether like what are the pros and cons for Ben, and what are the pros and cons for Paxton? Did you write them down?
I meant to screenshot the picture and I
Oh
didn't.
no, it's fine. I wrote them down. So the pros for Ben,
Chappelle.
the pros for Ben were smart, challenging, and hella rich. And the cons for Ben was he's kind of a dick. He's her past nemesis, and he has hairy forearms. The pros for Paxton is that his face is 100%, body
Yes.
100%. He's
Yes.
popular, and he's probably good at sex. The cons for Paxton, he's bad at school. They don't have a lot in common, and Trent stinks. And so they don't love Trent. He's in the con list as well.
I will say, when I was looking for thumbnails for this podcast, I wanted to make it the pros and cons list, but I was like, oh, that gives away too much. Damn it.
Yeah. It's a good list, but it does show that like Paxton doesn't have to do much to be in Davy's good graces. He just looks good.
Yeah, I love that Paxton's list, his pros says, after face 100, body 100, popular, it says probably good at sex.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Like, yeah, probably. I
Oh
mean,
my
she's trying to
God.
make this choice, and her friends think it's pretty obvious. Paxton is a
Oh, straight.
mixed race hottie, and they should go with him because at the end of the day, Sasha, when you die, don't you want to look back on your deathbed and see somebody's like hot naked body? Which hot naked body would you rather picture? That's exactly what Eleanor asked her.
It's not even up for debate for the Fab and Eleanor. They said Paxton. Fab said, I'm gay and I want Paxton. And not even that. It's like his body is so good, so inappropriate, by the way. But that one day when he was wearing sweatpants, Fab's mom Fab's mom hit a bus.
Yeah, she rear-ended the bus because it looks like he has a pepper shaker down there, according to Fab. There's a lot going on. This is a children's show, but there's a lot going on. These are
Right.
kids, but they have their opinions and they are okay. They're like, Davy, we know you don't want to hurt Ben's feelings, but we're okay with you doing that. Go ahead and make that happen because the rest
Yep.
of us are locking our relationships in. We get Fabiola getting the text from her new girlfriend, Eve. They
Ooh.
made it official. And Fab is getting text messages about things that she has no clue what's going on. Like she has no clue what these pop culture references Eve and her friends are talking about. Because Fab is a science girl. She doesn't watch a lot of TV and keep up with artists. She doesn't even know what a BB Rexa is. So
It's a
this is
BB-8.
yeah. She thinks it's a robot.
Listen, if you watched, I think BB Rexa was on Big Brother, right?
He was. BB Rexa was
Yes.
like the performance on the recap episode of one of those
Oh,
seasons of Big Brother.
right. No, I think it
Yeah.
was a veto. Like it was like
Or
a
something like I
veto
think she did both.
competition.
Yeah.
Oh, it could be.
Yeah.
You're right. You're right.
Honestly, I think you're right. I think it was just the competition, but it's
Yeah,
wild that it
and
was on
something
Big
like
Brother and that's fine
sprayed
to
on
her.
them. Yeah. Was it just last season, like All Stars? I think.
No, it was a
Oh,
couple years
okay.
ago.
Just
It was a
kidding.
couple years ago.
Oh yeah. But anyway, so that's going on. Have you ever dated someone that you're just like, we have nothing in common, but you're hot?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I've
Oh yeah.
never.
100%. No. Me and one of my former friends, I would say, she definitely just would call and talk my ear off about stuff I did not understand at all, and I would just listen to her because she looked good. And very quickly that got old. So don't
Yeah.
recommend, but whatever. It is what it is.
Yeah.
Play the field.
I think someone else dated me where they were like, I have no idea what the hell you're talking about, but I'm still gonna like date you.
Yeah.
He was like very good looking, but maybe not the smartest.
Yeah, I think that's probably what my issue is going to be now. Now that I'm like an adult who has a very specific job, like first of all, I work in education, but now like the
Yeah.
podcasting thing, like how do you explain
Exactly.
somebody? Like I spend hours out of my week talking about TV shows. It's like, oh, I like that show. It's like, yeah, but I discuss it every week. Like, and they're like, oh, okay, that's different, So
Yeah. My
maybe
IRL friends think I'm such a weirdo now. I mean, they're like very into it and they're like, well, listen to all the podcasts, but like, what do you mean this is something you do?
yeah, same here. Like my friends don't understand, they don't get it, but they're like happy for me. Like, oh, it sounds like you're doing
Exactly.
stuff. So congratulations. Like, thank you. So
Yeah, they're just like Nancy Pelosi clap for you because we're not sure what's going on. But yeah, so I felt that. I was like, yes, Fab. I hear you. And then it's time for Kamala, which this is where I was so angry and I just oh my God. And I know that it's gonna be a theme this almost all season, so I need to pace myself. But
Mhm.
we're in Dr. Elgin Peter's lab, blah blah blah. It's so amazing. He like gives a motivational speech about gallstones. Who cares? And Kamala cares because Kamala is excited. She's about to go talk to him, but then Evan stupid, mediocre white man Evan shows up and he said, I'm the assistant, aka your mentor, hero. Who are you? You're a loser. Okay. Kamala's taller than you. And again, not to like be mean to short men, but like not you with your Napoleon syndrome coming for Kamala. And he said, I'm gonna be who you're gonna be dealing with. And then he introduces her, Chappelle, to everyone. Were you like red flags everywhere, or were you like, okay, cool, whatever?
No, no, no. You could tell this is honestly just you could tell this is about to go bad.
Yeah.
Like he first doesn't even let her meet the guy who she's so excited to meet. She's so excited to meet Doctor. And he's like, nope, you'll deal with me. And here are all my nerdy friends that you'll also deal with. And by the way, when you're done talking to them, make sure you go clean the beakers on your way out.
Ooh.
Whoa. Clean the beakers? But why do I have to clean the beakers? I'm in the same rotation as everybody else. Do they not have to clean it?
What do you mean? That's all women are good for.
Oh, here we
Duh.
go. Yeah, this was bad. And honestly, not to spoil the season, but it's gonna get worse for Kamala. But this is the
Yeah.
first step of her, rotation into the world of STEM, I guess. And it's probably a very like common thing in STEM, honestly, with women not being
Mm-hmm.
as represented in those areas. And so we'll probably see a lot more of that coming up this season.
Yeah, my husband who's an engineer like sees this unfortunately a lot, but we love a feminist king who has complained before to HR. So it's great. We love it. We're learning, we're pushing all these spaces and it's like and men or anyone, right? Like anyone in the majority or anyone in a privileged space. In this case, it's mostly white men. Not everyone, but mostly white men, need to be speaking up for Kamala, and need to be speaking up and be allies. It shouldn't just always be on the minority person to, constantly have to be like, this is wrong, and like be that person. Like it's so annoying. Even
Yeah.
I'm sure for us on podcasts, it's annoying. It's like, I don't want to constantly be the person talking about race, but here I am because I'm gonna do it. And Evan can't even get her name right. He says Kamala. He says Kamala. He says all these kinds of names. Like, shut up. You're such a loser. Names are so important. Like, get them right.
Yeah. He sucks.
So, like,
Period.
literal sucks. And then started talking about you have a hot boyfriend, right? Sorry you have to work with gross nerds like us. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Right.
No.
Right.
Yeah.
And then Kamala's like, I'm a nerd too, and I'm not gross, and y'all aren't gross either, but they're a little
They're
gross.
gross.
They're a little gross.
They burp,
And
fart. It's gross.
yeah, it's a little gross. But
Yeah.
we're gonna keep our fingers crossed from Kamala moving forward.
Yes. And so we just a reminder that Devi said, great, I'm gonna let Ben down. It's Paxton all the way. So then she's about to go to Ben's house. She's taking the good cashews, her funerals that her mom takes. So Ben says, are you gonna kill me or what's up? And Davy says, that wasn't the right thing to do, Ben. Da da da. And then Ben is on a whole nother tangent because he says, you're right because of Shira, right?
Hmm.
Even though she gave him his first handy, it was time to dump her.
Yeah, I forgot about Shira completely. And
Me
once
too.
Davy and Ben kissed, I assumed Shira was gone. I didn't know where she was at. Didn't ask no questions. So for Ben to say, yeah, I don't think that kiss should have happened because I'm with someone. Well, where was that energy when you were kissing her at that party? Because you definitely tried to kiss Davy twice already
Shears
before the
cheated on
actual
him.
kiss.
Yeah, Shears probably cheated on him multiple times.
Probably. I mean, probably
So
currently, like she probably doesn't even know that she's dating Ben. Honestly, she's just using him for
honestly,
clout.
that. Yes,
Yeah.
very much that. And then, but he has dumped her because Ben is doing the right thing. No two women for him. But then they all start talking about her boobs, which is like weird. Let's not objectify women.
Hmm.
But they talk about how what they had was real. And because of Davy, this is like actually touched my heart because Ben, stood up to his parents and said they had a conversation. They're going to be having dinner together one time a week because of Davy. That's so beautiful.
Look at our girl's impact. Making his life better, at least temporarily.
Growth.
But yeah, I did think it was weird that he was just like, "What we have is real." Like y'all kissed one time. hold on.
I
Okay,
think he's
but
been
what
crushing on her for a while.
it's
I
been,
think
I think
that's
it was
why.
developing. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
developing, but he's all in. He's like, okay, we're done
Mhm.
developing. But he does give her an out. He says, you know what? You don't have to tie right now. Just
Yeah.
and because Davy is speechless, she hasn't even been able to, to say anything this whole time. And Ben just like starts making out with her again. So I mean, who is Davy to stop this this boy from kissing all over her? She goes along with it.
Yeah, and, like, I've said this before, I like Davy and Ben's kiss. I think her and Paxton kissing is very awkward. But that's, like, a
Mm.
character thing. I don't like, sorry, or, like, casting thing. I don't think that's a character issue. And then he says, "I do want you to be my girlfriend, and I'm okay with long distance."
Listen, his dad has a private jet.
A
He says, "You going to
PJ.
India?" Yeah, a PJ. Oh my gosh. Yeah, you're going to India. I'm gonna hop on the PJ and we're gonna do like whatever we're gonna do together. So make no mistake. Even right now, you don't have to decide. But if you do, I'm ready. Let's go. I'll follow you across the world. Ben is serious about this thing.
If any man said that to me, it's a wrap. We're getting married.
Sorry, we have a private jet. Oh, okay. Well, stop at the chapel or wherever we're gonna go get married at. Let's say I'll handle that real quick and then get on the private jet. Let's go.
And not even that, it's like the man is willing to do all of this to commit to you? Oh
Right.
my
And he's in high
god.
school. Like, I'll fly to India. That's fine.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
Davy, what are you doing? You know, but
Fumbling the
yeah.
bag, literally.
Yeah. I mean, because all of this is happening with Ben, but you got to remember, Davy's had a crush on Paxton since she was in the 3rd grade. She just stopped
Mhm.
disliking Ben this year. So it's hard for her to kind of balance those two things because she's not used to having feelings for Ben, but she's had feelings for Paxton for a very, very long time.
Yeah, but I guess it's fine. Whatever. Um like I said, I'm team Ben. Ben is great. Whatever. And then it's time for a date with Paxton.
Yeah. I mean, just because Ben has been kissing all over her doesn't mean, I mean, again, she never said she was going to be his girlfriend. So she can date other people. She pops up at Paxton's house thinking, okay, let's do it. Because the last time I was here, I was trying to have sex with him with no strings
Mhm.
attached. So let's get these strings going. We're going to have this date. She opens the door. It is Paxton. He looks nice. But Trent,
He looks really nice. I was like, "Paxton, you own this shirt?"
he got dressed. He ironed, but the date is going to happen. It's just Trent is going to be there too. Marcus as well. The hot pockets are sitting there on the couch waiting on Davy and Paxton to start their date.
Oh my god. Because she's very excited. She's like, "Listen, last time I was here, there was no string sex. Now if we have sex, there're gonna be all the strings involved." She's been in love with him since the 3rd grade. It's time. But
Hmm.
no. Oh, can you imagine walking into would you go on a date or would you stay on a date if her friends were there?
No, no,
Yeah, I don't think I would either.
absolutely not. I'd probably kick it for like a minute and then be like, you know what? I'm gonna go. Hit me up later type situation. But there's no way I'm gonna be sitting here like watching y'all do girl talk. Because that's basically what Davy does. She ends up sitting down and having to
Yes.
play video games with the boys, and like she's not even involved in that. Like that's not one of her interests. This is just her kind of just, oh, I guess we'll just hang out together and call it a date. So she's not loving
Yeah.
this at all.
And they've like started she's not even walked in the door, right? And they've started the stupid teenage boy jokes because he hits her with the Mountain Dew can. And they're like, "Oh, I hit your mountains with my dew." And it's like, shut up. You guys are so stupid. Uh,
He hit her
ugh.
cans with her cans.
Yeah.
I was just like, what is wrong with y'all? Um, yeah, it's bad. Like Davey automatically knows, like, okay, this person clearly doesn't like me like I like them because there's no way you would invite me over here to just hang out with your boys if I thought we were going to have like a one-on-one dinner and clearly you just want to play
Yes.
video game with your friends. I see this. I'm being friend zoned. So Davey is, rightfully confused.
Mhm. Yeah, and then they start and then not even that she's rightfully confused. She says, "Okay, great. So we're gonna play Call of Duty. Aren't you and I, Paxton, gonna be the pair, and then Trent and Marcus will be the pair?" No. Marcus
Mm-mm.
is the one that Marcus and Paxton together are magic, Chappelle. So Trent has to be with Denise.
Yeah, Denise. Why do I have to be on the same team with Denise?
God. That's
This
awful.
That's how you know this man does not like you because he hadn't even told his friends your name at all. Like he hasn't talked about you clearly because they seem shocked that Coyote Girl has walked through the door and they don't even know her name. So yeah,
They said, Lil
they
D, have a seat, Lil D. Oh, that's so embarrassing. Girls, women, we don't need this, okay? No man is that hot. I just want to make that clear. Just
not
no
even
man.
Common.
No. If Common had a bunch of other people, absolutely not. I know my worth.
Yeah, good job. And meanwhile, Common's like, shave your hair. You're like, okay.
Yeah. It would be one-on-one. Hello.
Exactly.
When other people are around, my like dumbass meter goes down. Like I'm smarter around other people.
Same.
Yeah, and then, she's had an awful date. So it's time for her to get home. And then she comes home, and of course Prashant is calling her on, to talk, not her, sorry. It's calling Kamala, but she gets on cuz she has cuz she needs some help. There's no men around to talk to. And of course Devi asked him, "Would you bring someone else on a date?"
Yeah. Prashant is confused. He's like, no, that doesn't make any sense. And so David's like, this confirms what I'm thinking. This Paxton clearly doesn't like me.
Yep.
This wasn't a date. He just called it dinner and it's fine. My bad. I'm tripping, So this is good information for Devi. She can take this and she can act on it. And then Kamala can go back to talking to Prashant.
Exactly. So then they're fine. Everyone's chill. Devi also says, "Listen, and I got you too. If you need any advice, I'm mature. I know tons of shit." Devi, please
Stop it. Please.
And I love Prashant because he just like deals with her. He's like, "Yeah, I don't doubt you're very mature." He's so kind. And then Kamala and Prashant have like an awkward date, unfortunately, because Kamala, like Prashant is very excited to come see her, but Kamala's mind, is at work somewhere else.
Yeah. And she's trying to get him to understand, like, hey, I had a bad day because it was kind of weird and like the people in the lab didn't want to talk to me and stuff like that. And I like how Prashant is just like, you know what? It's the first day. It's often weird. He's trying to keep her at peace. You know what? Everyone's gonna fall in love with you eventually because everyone does. They're gonna love you, Kamala. And then, when I come visit, we're gonna go see Jimmy Kimmel. They have so much in common. Like this is a complete opposite of Devi and Paxton. This is Kamala has found like her other Kamala because they're both nerdy. They both like Jimmy Kimmel. They're so westernized in their interest. I like this for her.
Me too. I wish nothing but the best because I love how he's like, "Okay, I guess we don't have to do Jimmy Kimmel." She said, "No, I already booked the tickets. That's not the issue." I love Guillermo too.
Keep
so
up.
Sweet. Yeah. We're that's all we really get from them. And then I feel like it's time, Chappelle, for the community service for the first standoff where both men are going to be around, where now she's telling her friends, "Listen, here's what happened on the date, y'all. This is how he screwed me." And these virgins are very surprised because that's what John McEnroe calls them. Says they're very surprised that they weren't red roses leading to a Cal King bed.
Look, Eleanor watches too much TV. It's very apparent, and we see that all the time. She watches plays. She's very dramatic. So she thought, Davy was basically walking into the honeymoon suite, and everything was gonna be so like romantic, and it was just gonna be this beautiful situation. And come to find out, no, he didn't even ask his friends to leave. Davy ended up just leaving early, because it just went left, and so yeah, this is bad. Maybe Paxton just wants to be friends with her, and Davy's okay because she had a backup plan. She wants to focus on being with his normal size penis, as opposed to Paxton, who they speculate has a pepper grinder in his pants.
Which we love, obviously. But it's such a mess. Like, it's so sad because Bollywood movies, which we know Eleanor said maybe she could, become a Bollywood actress, but Bollywood movies maybe have ruined a romance. Definitely have for me, because that's what I thought would happen. It has not.
Yeah. I could see that where you just you've been watching so much media to where you think this is how life is supposed to go. You're like, no, that's not real life all the time.
Yeah. Have you ever been down bad? My husband I just have to say this. My husband walked in the room and he gave me a look like, "It's fine. It's other things have happened for you."
It's like it's time to go eat. I thought that's what he was coming to look for.
No, because I just said the romance Bollywood thing, and he just came in and looked at me like, "Girl." Why you
Look,
acting
I
like I didn't propose to you? Well,
right. It was nice. I've seen the pictures of all the
thank
wedding
you.
stuff. You did
I
good.
planned
You did
that.
good.
No, the proposal he planned. It was cute. It's fine.
Okay.
But I'm extra, okay? It's just who I am.
Mhm.
What can we do? And then it's fine. It's time. He said maybe they want to be friends, and it's okay because his penis is too big.
Look, they found a silver lining in there somewhere.
Literally. And then it's Mr. Shapiro in the hat. I don't know if you noticed.
No, I didn't even. Oh yeah. What was
He
his
was in the
woke hat?
pussy hat. Like
Yeah.
in
It
the
was.
is that what it's called? I think so. I
I
don't
think
know
that's
if
what it's
there's a
called.
better word because not me just saying that on the podcast.
Probably a better word. There's probably a better word, but it's Mr. Shapiro, of course, is dressed in his woke garb for the day to lead
Yes.
them through this
Oh
journey and
yeah,
all
it
this
is
other stuff.
called that.
Yeah, it's like you're just coming to pick up trash, Mr. Shapiro. Calm down.
100%. And not sure why we have to do that for picking up trash, but sure. Why not, right? And yeah, the Pussy Hat project is actually a really cool social change foundation. Would recommend everyone check it out. Anyway, but Mr. Shapiro is really pushing us. And then of course, Mr. No, Trent finds a condom and then Mr. Shapiro goes on to talk about women. I love this is how smart this show is, right? Like he's wearing a hat that talks about is about feminism and all of this stuff. And then he talks about how cool contraception is because they allowed women to go into the workforce. So I'm like, this show is so brilliant, just like you said with the cultural appropriation and the behind him. And now
Mhm.
this, like, they just drag this man to hell every time.
Yeah. They use him as a teaching vehicle too. It's kinda like
Yes.
you can see that, and then it's like, oh, if you didn't know about the Pussy Hat Project, then you can find out about it, but then you can also learn about, the role that contraception did play in women's rights and the movements. And so it's like, yeah, he's a joke, but like if you listen to some of the things he's saying and you research into it, you'll learn a lot.
Exactly. We love it. And then of course Davy in front of everyone says, Ben, do you want to partner up? And I love Ben because Ben is me. He says, as long as we don't kill each other, fine. Because I don't want you to slow me down. I need to be interviewed. Yeah, I need to be interviewed by the local newspaper. So I need to do 10 bags. So let's move.
Right.
I love it.
Well,
it's so cute.
Well, that's one of Ben's cons. I mean, pros, right? Like he pushes her, he's challenging. Like she likes the competition. That's right up
Mm-hmm.
Davy's alley. So this is where she's like, okay, he's reaching into her like overachieving bag. This is right. This is what she's looking for. And they end up picking up trash. And she finally just tells him, like, okay, thought about it. It's cool. I'm gonna be your girlfriend. We're in this together. Let's do it. And so I was happy for her in this moment.
Yeah. I love that they go in to kiss and then he steps on like an award. Like,
A porn award
yeah, a porn
from
award. Like LA.
yeah.
My God. Uh,
For MILF Performance of the Year, I believe is what it was.
yes, sure
But
was.
that's the only reason why they're not kissing in public, which would probably change what happens in the next scene because when Davy's alone at the trash can, Paxton pulls her aside because now he wants to talk to her about why she completely picked Ben to be her partner and not him.
Yep. And because Paxton this is a different Paxton because he's admitting to liking her. He's like, "What do you need from me?" And then she said, "But your friends were." It was like chicken and egg. He was like, "No,
Mhm.
my friends are at every date until it's time to hook up. Then they leave. But I know that you left because Trent threw up, and I understand this." And then she's like, "But your friends were there, so it couldn't be a date." And they just like back and forth, back and forth. And then finally, Paxton agrees that okay, you're right. I'll take you on a date one on one. It's like, yes, that is what a date is. One on one.
It took him a while, but he got there.
Yeah.
Paxton isn't the smartest, but he gets it eventually. But look at our Queen Davy. She's like, nope, too
Yes.
late. Sorry, you
I'm
missed
moving to
out.
India. Which I
Yeah,
love. It's like, no, it's because you just told Ben that you want to date
yeah.
him.
She missed that part, but I don't think she left that out on purpose. It's just
No.
one of those things where she was just like, you missed out, and also I'm gonna go, so don't worry about
Yep.
it. But Paxton, my guy, I appreciate this from him. He says, "Oh, you're moving to India. That means we got time." And now Paxton is kissing her at the middle of the community service event. Look at Davy.
Look at her. Look at our queen. Oh,
Yeah.
who doesn't want that? Who doesn't just want to be kissed? Well, consent is important, but it's both. If
Mhm.
mutual consent has been given, obviously by Devi, she propositioned him first. So, she's obviously into him. So when you're into someone, this is a cool little fun thing that we all hope happens.
Yeah,
But yeah, they're making out with trash cans, y'all.
it's kind
Here
of
we
gross.
are. And
Mhm.
then it's the last scene of this episode where Devi is dressed, okay? Where Devi is excited because she got her free samples. Nalini is talking about how great, she was in negotiating her salary. And then she says, "You better not be kissing any more boys," with an S. And I love how on edge Devi is because she says, "Why did you say plural? What do you mean?"
Right. She's already thinking she's about to get caught up. She hasn't even done nothing yet, and she's like, "I'm about to get caught." Nellany's if Nellany knows, then everyone else is gonna know so fast. I don't know if this is gonna work. She's paranoid about it.
Yep. But actually, Nalini says, because they're all off limits. Do better. Okay?
Mhm.
Stop it. Which I need folks to understand that teaching abstinence, education does not work. Nalini, please work with your kid here so that she doesn't end up doing this kind of stupid things.
Yeah, like you shut down these conversations, then you don't know when she's struggling with something like this. Have you said, like, oh, well, why do you ask? Are you into multiple boys? If so, what do you plan on doing about that? You should probably not play with their feelings and stuff like that. Like, that's how conversations happen. But you saying,
Yep.
like, nope, no boys, never, don't want to talk about it ever. She's like, okay, she's just going to keep it from you. And so you at least want to have that window of communication open the entire time. But Melanie has never raised a teenage daughter before. This is her learning as she's going, and she's
Mhm.
doing it on her own. So we have to extend some grace.
Yeah. And, we're praying because unfortunately, if you had that open communication, you probably fight a little less because you're willing to understand each other's point of view. You're a little bit more easy, or rather, it's easier to give in to each other. So this is just a very unfortunate situation, I will say. And then it's fine, whatever. We get a conversation that says, "Do you date two guys until you move to India?" And she says, "Yep, because I'll be on the plane by the time the blowback happens."
She's ready. She's planning her like, okay, get in, date two people, and slide out the door. Because in her mind, she's like, I can't break up with Paxton here because I've been in love with him forever. Her password to literally everything is Paxton69 exclamation point. That's on all her accounts. So she can't just throw this away because all of a sudden Ben likes her. So, let's date them both and then dip out like a thief in the night.
Exactly. Oh my god, and I couldn't breathe. That was so funny. But I love it. I live for our queen, living her best life. Because I know me in high school watching this, I would have been like, wow, this would never happen to me. So
It's like
claps to
goals.
you.
Right, goals. Be just like juggling these two love interests that you like a lot. Like, okay, Davey, we see you out here winning this time. But we should be worried because she says she made this decision. I think John McEnroe says with no introspective and
Mm-hmm.
no maturity. And so these are Davey's favorite kind of decisions we've seen in the past. And so although her friends kind of bring it up as a joke, Davey's already made her mind up. She's like, I'm doing the two boyfriend things, and it's nobody can stop me.
We pray for you, girl. We gotta pray. Because next episodes, it's gonna get weirder, people. Just hop on and strap
Yes.
in because it's gonna get wild. Anything else, Chappelle, about this episode?
No, like I said, this was more like, okay, we're back into season two. I remember watching this
Yes.
episode and thinking, oh, now I'm not gonna move the rest of the day. Like I'm stuck here in this on the couch because it's like, well, I gotta see what happens next, right? So this show does such a good job with their like end of the episode where it feels like, well, I gotta kind of just watch. It's only 30 more minutes. I just watch one more. And so next thing you know, me and Sasha were texting each other that we
Oh
finished
my
the whole
god.
season.
I think that's the first time we've like legit DM'd. So it's really
Yeah.
funny that it was for this.
Right. We normally just like scheduling a podcast. So I'm like, oh, can you come on this? Can you come on this? But
Yes.
that particular time, it was like, no, 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 we got to talk about this. So
It was like, are you feeling the same things I'm feeling? Okay, cool. I'm not a weirdo. Thank you.
yeah, yeah. And so this was a good start to the season. I'm excited.
Yeah, me too. Like I said, I'm loving it. I love that it still holds the essence of the show, but we're moving to a different direction where it's a little bit more focused on Davy, I want to say, than anyone else. And then we'll see a little bit later the other characters develop in different ways. I'll say that. So I'm excited. I'm excited for this season. So with that, Chappelle, where can people find you? Now that it's time, we're wrapping things up.
Yes, of course. People, if you haven't already followed us on Twitter, you know where to find us. But I'm at Chappelle's underscore show, tweeting about normally now tweeting about football. So Sasha's tweeting about college football, and I'm tweeting about the NFL. And both of us are crazy people, so please
Yes.
don't look too far into our tweets because we get very passionate about our football. And so yeah, that's where you can find me. I also host the Nothing But Netflix podcast with Rob Cesternino on Rob Has a Podcast, so that's been fun. And on postshowrecaps.com, I am covering The Walking Dead, Fear the Walking Dead, and The Walking Dead World Beyond all at the same time. So every week I'll be doing that. And I got some other stuff coming up on Post Show Recaps as well. So just hanging out. I think I got a guest spot on the Shit 90 Shows Taught Me podcast coming up
Oh,
too.
yay.
Yeah, we're doing a lot here. And so yeah, come check me out wherever I pop up, and I'd be happy to entertain the listeners.
So exciting. And as for me, you can follow me on Twitter at funsize_04. And yeah, I think I'm just tweeting about the most random things right now. I'm into fantasy football. Chappelle and I are in the same league. It's wild times. Pray for my team, everyone. And I also host the RJP rewind, not rewind. Oh my god, wrap up. Uh, what the hell? The RJP wrap up for Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, where Chappelle and I, talked about the last episode of season 10. I couldn't believe it, but it's a really, really fun time. It was just such a joy to talk to you, Chappelle, and just giggle our way through the podcast. Chappelle ended up sharing hilarious grandma stories that I got texts about from my friends, being
Ha!
like, "What is Chappelle's grandma doing?"
Being a mess, being a hot
Yes,
mess.
we love Miss Gloria. What do you mean?
We
And
do, we do. Sasha, it felt good though. For if you listen to Never Have I Ever and never have listened to Sasha on the Love and Hip Hop Wrap Up on RHAP, listen, come check us out because it was like a Never Have I Ever reunion on that finale
literally.
podcast. It was so much fun, Sasha. Thank you for having me.
Oh my god! And we had to stop ourselves from making jokes that we make on this podcast, and then say, oh, vice versa. It's hilarious. So obviously, if you're like, hey, I need more Chappelle and Sasha this week, there you go. You're welcome. And I will be on the Survivor B&B tomorrow. I don't know when it gets released, but I'll be on tomorrow speaking with Mike and Shannon. I'm a filthy casual, so I'm just there for mess and for fun. And with that, thank you so much, everyone, for listening. Remember, if you're listening on Apple, leave us a review. If you're listening to us on Spotify, follow us. Do it all. Thank you, everyone. Make sure you let us know how you feel.